Noah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Good morning to you guys, too.
Thank you very much for giving us your time this morning. We will throw it out to some questions for Noah, Shannon. If you have any questions, please raise your hand, by clicking on the participant button at the bottom of your screen. Excuse me. The first question, Noah, is from Leah Van.
Hey, Noah. I was talking to Kyler Schott yesterday, and he was saying how he goes over film with some of the defensive linemen like Logan Lee. And I was wondering what kind of insight you can gain from going over film with people like from the offensive line.
Yeah, definitely. So that was something I did when Coach Polisek was here. Kind of like ask them what are they looking for, and when we're pass rushing or, when they're run blocking, like what are they looking for when they're trying to reach us, or like is it the number on our chest or is it our shoulder pad or what? So definitely gives you a better understanding of what they're trying to do, and it can help you out on the defensive side of the ball.
Noah, the next question is from Scott Dockerman.
Yeah, Noah, what's it been like playing teams that are just so completely different week after week after week? In particular, 2 weeks in a row, these kinds of preps for Kent State, the up-tempo RPO style, and then you got, slam ball coming up with, 14 personnel with Colorado State. What's it been like for you, and how do you think this helps prepare you as a unit for the entire season?
Yeah, so Kent State was definitely different because we haven't seen any tempo, especially that fast. They were running plays like every 16 to 20 seconds, so we definitely had to be on top of our stuff, and especially when it came to a conditioning standpoint, just being able to be out there for all 3 downs or, those longer drives too. But when it comes to Colorado State, I see it like a very similar offense as to Wisconsin. I know that the old Wisconsin QB's coach is now the OC there, so I understand they have a lot of similar schemes. It's a lot of downhill stuff, so it's definitely going to be our most physical game we've played yet, with them liking to get the ball to their big running back and get him going downhill. So
Noah, the next question from Chloe Peterson.
Yeah, a lot of defensive players like Riley Moss and Jack Campbell throughout the season have been talking about the next man in mentality of the entire defense. Like, what can you say to that? Like, what have you seen in the locker room and on the field for that?
Yeah, definitely. That's something that KF, or Coach Ferentz, he emphasizes every year. Like, there's going to be injuries. Football is a physical sport, and everybody knows that it just comes down to preparation. You have to prepare like you're a starter, and that's watching film, giving it your all in practice and things like that. And I think that's something the whole team buys into, and I think everybody's just waiting on their opportunity to get on the field.
Noah, the next question from Kennington Smith.
Hey, Noah, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. My question is, Coach Ferentz said before the season you were one of the players that he felt good about on the defensive line amongst a few other veterans, but there were more question marks. Now that we're 3 games in, we've seen a lot of young players step up. For you as a veteran, what is it like to see younger players, less experienced players kind of come of age, earn the trust of coaches, and have success in the games?
It's great for us because it gives the coaches more confidence in them. When, say, I get tired or, Logan gets tired, then Coach Bell can feel confident in putting, Lucas, YA, Louis, all the younger guys in, because they've been showing that they can fill those roles and keep the standard of the defensive line at what it is.
The next question, Noah, is from Scott Dockerman.
Yeah, Noah, in what ways do you think you've improved? You've got a low center of gravity, which works for you, but I know your technique has to be pretty sound when you're built that way. How have you been able to use that to your advantage, and what ways have you made strides to become the starter that you are right now?
Yeah, so a big thing with me, KB always told me that my pad level is going to, play a lot into how successful I am beating blocks. But also this year I've been working a lot on my separation, getting locked out and being able to see, have vision on the ball carrier. And I feel like that's been a big help, because if you don't have separation, then you're not going to get off the block, because the whole time you're in there with the O-linemen, they're just tightening their grip on your jersey, and it's going to be hard to get off those blocks. So really separation has been a big part of what I'm trying to improve this year.
The The next question, Noah, from John Steffi.
What's been your message to some of these younger guys who are now thrown into a larger role on the D-line than in years past?
Yeah, just like I said earlier, like your time's gonna come. Like you got to be ready. I mean, you saw Isaiah Bruce was out there this past weekend. That's like my little brother out there, and I was so happy when he got his first tackle. I ran off the sideline or down the sideline screaming his name. I was so happy for him, but it just comes with preparation. Like I said earlier, you gotta prepare like you're a starter. That's something that we emphasize, and I mean, I think a lot of the younger guys on the D-line really took that to heart. So.
The next question, Noah, from Scott Dockerman.
Based on the experience level of the entire unit, especially inside, that was a big question mark going into the season. How do you think you guys have performed through 3 games, and what do you think is the ceiling for this unit?
I feel that we've performed pretty well. I mean, we don't really like to look on our past performances. I mean, once it's Sunday, we like to flush it and get ready for the next week. But I think that we're just improvement driven, and we just want to get better every day. That's something that KB instilled in us early this fall camp, just trying to get better day by day and not really looking long term. But yeah.
The next question from Leah Van.
I know that, sacks aren't necessarily always the goal, but also it's great. Y'all had 7 sacks as a unit last game, which was the most in a single game since 2000 against Northwestern. What is special about this defensive line specifically, and how do you what do you take from that performance?
That was crazy performance. I know I didn't have any personally, but I mean, I try to get as many disruptions as I can. But I mean, the group, I feel like we just play very well together. Like when we're all on the same page, communicating, clicking, I feel like we can accomplish a lot. So last week was really fun, but I mean, hopefully we can keep building on that and get more. I mean, 8 would be real cool. So.
The next question from Scott Dockerman.
How much has discipline played into the way you guys have performed this year? Going into Iowa State 2 weeks ago, for instance, I mean, veteran offensive line, great running back, veteran quarterback, and yet you guys performed your duties. What was preached to you about going into that performance, and then how have you guys applied it and been able to be successful because of it?
Yeah, discipline definitely plays a large part. Like when we played the team, Kent State last week, the whole defense had to make sure they were in their gap because of how much movement they were doing along the offensive line. And when it comes to pass rush, we've played 3 athletic, very mobile quarterbacks, so we know we have to stay on our shoulder and make sure we can't let, at the tackle, we can't let them escape through the B gaps or the A gaps, and the ends know the same thing. We all have a responsibility when it comes to pass and run game. And I think we've done a good job of that so far, and I think we could still improve in some areas, but that's what we hope to do week to week.
Along those lines, you're playing a team that runs a lot of gap, pin and pull, which if your head's not on the swivel, you can get flattened pretty quickly. That's another challenge, I guess, for a lot of your younger players. You've certainly dealt with it with Wisconsin, but what's kind of being impressed when you're playing a team like this, especially with a lot of young players who never experienced a 320-pound guard coming, and blowing out.
Right. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with preparation, like I said. I mean, if you're looking at the film, then I believe you can get a good jump on what they're trying to do. And it really starts with coming off the ball. You gotta create knockback on your key, and if you don't, then chances are you're gonna get pushed into the wash by the tackle or whoever's working the double team. So I think it really starts with that knockback and blow delivery on your key.
All right, Noah, I'll speak for the group, and thank you very much for taking your time this morning. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.